His kiss was filled with the bold spirit of 23 years old, mixed with a bit of innocence. But that innocence only made me, a 60-year-old woman, more passionate. Who would have thought that the young man who helped me make coffee would walk into my house, only for me to discover that I had carelessly left my toys and some rather intimate garments sprawled across the couch. Little did anyone know that moment would set off a chain of events that would alter everything forever. In the stillness of solitude, I found myself adrift. Yet, as I ventured to acquire that coffee maker, it was the helpful fellow at the store who ensured I wouldn't face this day in solitude. Who would have thought that a naive young man would enter my life and lead me down such an unforeseen path? Allow me to share the entire tale with you. Once upon a time, there was a 60-year-old who had journeyed through life, having been divorced for 15 years, and now finding solace in the quiet of solitude. Naturally, there were those cherished moments and personal treasures, the little things that belonged solely to me. Indeed, I rely on them so frequently that I hardly realized I had carelessly left them out in the open, right there in the heart of the living room. Perhaps it was merely a routine, or perhaps it served as my means of bridging the chasm of solitude. That morning unfolded just like any other, with an air of familiarity surrounding it. My plan was simple: grab a coffee maker and continue on with my day. Yet it was that young fellow, David, who turned the tide with his generous offer of assistance. As I swung the door open and welcomed him in with the box, little did I know that what seemed like an ordinary day was on the brink of becoming something truly remarkable. At the age of 23, David radiated excitement, warmth, and an abundance of energy. As he crossed the threshold of my home, coffee maker cradled in his hands, his gaze danced over every nook and cranny of the room. In that moment, his gaze caught something intriguing. There they were, my toys scattered about, alongside the personal pieces of clothing I had carelessly left draped over the couch. It had become such a familiar sight that it slipped right past my awareness. To my eyes, they appeared to be the most unremarkable aspect of the home. With a gentle smile, David stepped into the living room and inquired, "You live alone, don't you?" In his eyes danced a playful curiosity, inviting tales yet to be told. My cheeks flushed with a deep crimson hue. It unfolded in an instant, catching me off guard and leaving me feeling utterly flustered, unsure of how to navigate the situation. A visitor arrived with the simple task of setting up the coffee maker, but little did anyone know this was just the beginning of a much larger tale. In the end, I kept these intimate details of my life to myself, revealing them to no one. My solitude was a personal journey, and I never sought to cast its shadow upon another. David, I implore you, let's weave a tale where you didn't witness any of this, I said, my voice quivering just a bit. It was as if the very fabric of my desires had unraveled in an instant. David cast a glance my way, a smile spreading across his face. As he spoke, his words flowed with a certain ease. Whatever you say. Yet one must admit, these matters are not so simple to disregard. They certainly captured the spotlight, much like you do. That left me feeling even more flustered. I gradually averted my gaze and whispered, "David, please be sure to subscribe and activate notifications to enjoy more tales like this one. You won't be able to hold back your thoughts once you hear this tale unfold. Come, Let us weave our thoughts together in the space below. I eagerly await your reflections. Yet, with his characteristic warmth and authenticity, he pressed on. It's entirely normal to experience these feelings of solitude, he remarked, his eyes now glimmering with a newfound brilliance. Each of us carries our own desires, wouldn't you agree? Yet there are moments when such things simply fall short, don't you think? The weight of his words lingered, a gentle crescendo that resonated in the air. He seemed to be making an effort to bridge the gap between us, reaching out with a touch that was both daring and tender. For a fleeting moment, our gazes intertwined, holding the weight of unspoken words. In that fleeting instant, a flicker ignited between us, a magnetic pull, an unvoiced allure, a subtle yet profound intensity. David's warm gaze enveloped me like a comforting embrace. With each fleeting second, our connection deepened, drawing us nearer to one another. Each word he spoke seemed to resonate deep within me, and in that moment, I understood that what I was experiencing was unlike anything before. David remarked, I saw it the moment you arrived to fetch the coffee maker, a peculiar glimmer dancing in his eyes. You bestowed upon me a sensation unlike any I've ever experienced. After a brief moment of reflection, I gathered my thoughts before responding. What words could possibly capture this moment? My emotions danced wildly, swirling in a chaotic symphony. Yet the struggle against this irresistible force seemed almost futile. With a gentle smile, I remarked, You did the same for me. Ah, young man, under different circumstances, I would have never welcomed your offer to assist and allowed you to cross the threshold of my home. I uttered those words. Yet, within me, a deeper feeling stirred. There was something about David that seeped into my very being. His physique, his presence, the way he spoke, each detail lingered in my mind, captivating me completely. So at ease, so delightful. The struggle to mask my true emotions was becoming increasingly difficult as my eyes threatened to reveal the secrets within. After a moment of quiet reflection, I finally spoke up, sharing that I had been wearing these jeans and this shirt for the entire day. They're wrapping around me, attempting to soothe the strain. I'm off to find something that feels a bit cozier. Feel free to settle in and make this space your own. David's eyes held mine. A moment stretched in silence. My gaze was locked, and even the slightest attempt to divert it was futile. There was an undeniable pull towards him, as if the distance that separated us was vanishing with each passing moment. Upstairs, I gracefully donned a sleek, figure-hugging spaghetti-strap dress. With a delicate hand, I refreshed my makeup and gracefully glided towards the kitchen. As I descended, my gaze fell upon David, who stood by the living room door, a figure caught in the moment. His gaze, deliberate or not, was fixed upon me. For a fleeting moment, I found myself rooted in place, caught in a web of swirling thoughts and vivid imaginings. Very well, I mused, young man. Your intentions are quite evident. You've struck gold in my life. So let's embark on this journey. As the thought crossed my mind, I feigned ignorance to his gaze and took a step closer to him. With a hint of mischief in my voice, I called out, David, are you on your own journey? Do you have a special someone in your life? Or do you find yourself wandering through the quiet of the night, all by yourself? As I gazed upon him, a flicker ignited within my soul. In that moment, it felt as if each word, each gesture, and every fleeting look held a significance that transcended the ordinary. As I caught a glimpse of the thrill and bashful wonder dancing in his eyes, a smile gently blossomed on my lips. Once you've completed the setup of the coffee maker, why not brew a delightful cup of coffee together? I uttered, hardly aware of the subtle quiver that danced through my voice. And let us weave a tale together. Share your tale with me. As I approached him, a gentle warmth began to blossom within me. Every tiny detail about him draws me closer. David settled into a chair, yet he found himself restless, fidgeting as he sought that elusive comfort. With a deliberate move, I slid my chair closer, positioning myself right beside him. As I settled it securely beneath me, my skirt crept up, ever so slightly, just a few centimeters. Yet I was fully conscious of it. David's gaze lifted, hovering just shy of connecting with mine. His attentiveness wrapped around me like a warm embrace, and his sincerity shone through every word he spoke. As I cast a sidelong glance his way, seeking to understand the essence of this newfound intimacy, a smile crept across my lips. With a relaxed posture, I crossed my legs and let my arm drape over the back of my chair, settling into the moment. Were you filled with anticipation as you waited for this moment? I playfully nudged, weaving a light-hearted atmosphere into the scene. Yet, the unspoken tension between us steadily grew, like a storm brewing on the horizon. With a hint of nervousness, yet unwavering gaze, David inquired, "How old are you?" His voice danced with a blend of astonishment and reverence. "I was under the impression that you had reached the age of 50. A glimmer danced in my gaze. Did he truly believe I was 50 years old? That was quite captivating and surprisingly complimentary. A smile crept onto my face, unbidden. "Do you have a preference for those who are 50 years old?" I playfully arched an eyebrow, my gaze fixed intently on him. Every word, every fleeting moment shared between us wove a tapestry of connection, ignited by the intensity of the moment. His eyes widened in astonishment, as if he were completely captivated by my presence. "No, that's not what I meant," he said, his voice tinged with a hint of bashfulness. "Ah, the radiance of youth and beauty shines brightly upon you." His words resonated within me, lingering like a haunting melody. A gentle warmth enveloped me. Yet, amidst the unfolding events, a sense of unease began to creep in. As I stood here, the weight of the moment pressed upon me, and each step forward seemed to sting with intensity. A stillness enveloped us, a pause that spoke volumes. With a steadying breath, I posed the question that lingered in the air. Is there someone special in your life? Do you find yourself in solitude? What do you do when the night falls and you find yourself in solitude? These were questions I was both excited and slightly anxious to hear. From David's voice dropped to a whisper, his gaze piercing through to meet mine. He spoke softly, a hint of solitude in his voice. "I find myself alone." In that fleeting instant, my heart was convinced he truly was alone. Yet it was a loneliness that seemed to wrap around him like a heavy cloak, one he didn't truly desire. Our eyes met for a lingering moment, and I sensed he could perceive the depth of my stare. A transformation stirred within me as I lingered in anticipation. As the emotions began to crystallize within me, a sense of urgency stirred, compelling me to act. "That's not how tonight's tale will unfold," I declared, my voice carrying a touch more resolve, a hint of purpose. As my gaze returned to him, each word I uttered resonated with significance. In that instant, I sensed a profound shift was on the horizon. "David, come," I beckoned, my voice softer than usual, yet undeniably warm and welcoming. With a glance, I directed attention to the room that held the bed, then turned away without a moment's pause. Indeed, he would embark on that journey. I sensed his footsteps trailing behind me, his breath quickening ever so slightly. As we stepped into the bedroom, David paused just by the threshold. His shoulders bore a slight tension, yet his expression radiated focus and anticipation. I turned to face him, and there it was on his face, a captivating blend of hesitation and excitement, a story waiting to unfold. "David, are you prepared for the adventure ahead?" I inquired, my voice measured and unwavering. I moved in a bit closer, a subtle smile playing on my lips as I spoke. "My journey speaks for itself, as you might notice. Take a deep breath. There's no reason to feel anxious." As I drew near, I softly rested my hand upon his shoulder. That gentle touch, though slight, seemed to melt away some of his tension, while simultaneously igniting a spark of excitement within him. In that instant, David's vibrant spirit collided with the assurance and clarity I had cultivated through the passage of time. With a gentle motion, I let the straps of my dress cascade down my shoulders. The fabric whispered against my skin before it gracefully tumbled to the floor. David's gaze was fixed upon me. A tapestry of wonder, intrigue, and longing unfolded. A quiet tumult brewed within, yet my face remained a picture of serenity. I edged nearer to him, the quietude enveloping us, weaving an unspoken connection. As my fingertips brushed against his cheek, I held my breath, anticipating the moment he would take the next step. David paused for a moment, a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, but ultimately, he leaned in closer to me. His gaze sparkled with a fierce determination and a thrill that was palpable. As his hand gently found its place on my waist, the distance between us diminished, and our lips finally intertwined in a tender embrace. His kiss was filled with the bold spirit of 23 years old, mixed with a bit of innocence. But that innocence only made me, a 60-year-old woman, more passionate. With a gentle retreat, I navigated my path to the bed. I allowed myself to descend onto it, each movement intentional and unhurried. The chill of the surface brushed against my skin, sending a shiver through me, amplifying the thrill that bubbled within. As my gaze drifted towards David, a world of unspoken tales unfolded between us. He lingered in place, caught in a moment of uncertainty, pondering his next move. "David, come here," I called, my voice gentle yet inviting. I traced my fingers along the bed, gesturing to the vacant space next to me. "Rest easy, for there is nothing to fear." With a gentle approach, David inched closer and settled down beside me, his presence a quiet comfort in the stillness of the moment. It felt as though we were suspended in time, the atmosphere thickening with each passing moment. I turned to him, my hand resting lightly on his chest, and asked in a soft voice, "Have you ever contemplated this moment? Can you picture it, David?" David's gaze remained fixed on me, unwavering and intense, more than just a fleeting thought. He murmured, his voice barely above a whisper, tinged with disbelief. Yet I never dared to believe it could truly come to pass. In that instant, every uncertainty faded into the background. We were intertwining not only our physical selves, but also the depths of our feelings. Neither of us could foresee the path ahead, yet one truth stood clear in my mind. The thrill I experienced with David was a treasure I had long sought after. As I lay beside him, a spark ignited within me, transforming into a wave of bravery. I perched at the edge of the bed, my eyes locked onto David as I gradually rose to my feet before him. As I leaned slightly towards him from the head of the bed, our eyes met, and in that moment, I could see the blend of surprise and anticipation dancing in his expression. "David," I began, my voice gentle yet firm, "this evening, we find ourselves in each other's company, united in presence." David took a deep breath, his gaze unwavering. In the stillness between us, I sensed his deep comprehension of the gravity of my words. His hands clutched the edge of the bed with a fierce determination. Yet his eyes sparkled with newfound courage. With a tender touch, I inched closer to his face, cradling his cheeks softly in my hands. "Let us embrace this moment tonight," I murmured, drawing my lips nearer to his. "Let the tale unfold without doubt. Embrace the unknown with courage." David's breath came in rapid bursts, yet he remained steadfast, refusing to retreat, even for a fleeting moment. In that fleeting moment, we were two souls seeking refuge from our solitude, drawing warmth from the shared space between us. David's breath came in rapid bursts. His eyes appeared to be on a quest, seeking to seize every nuance of the moment, as if he yearned to engrave it in the depths of his memory. He paused for a moment, then reached for my waist, his touch a blend of courage and hesitation. The initial hesitancy transformed into a fervent longing. My breath was beyond my command, yet I sensed that pivotal moment resonating deep inside me. "David," I murmured softly, my fingers brushing tenderly against his cheek. "This sensation envelops me completely, and it is truly magnificent." David held his gaze steady, his voice resonating with a rich depth, yet quivering with a gentle warmth. Ah, the whirlwind of emotions we share. Yet one can't help but wonder, isn't this all unfolding at a dizzying pace? This sensation within me is powerful and utterly enchanting. It's likely clear that this is a first for me. A grin blossomed upon my lips. I drew nearer, gently pressing my lips against his forehead in a tender gesture. "David, there are moments when life unfolds beautifully, when we let go of our thoughts and simply embrace the journey. Embrace the essence of now and let it carry you forward," I said with a comforting voice. David hesitated for a heartbeat, then let his hands glide gently from my waist, drawing me nearer as our breaths intertwined and the distance between us vanished. This moment held the potential to change the course of our lives forever. In a fleeting moment, David, gasping and surrendering completely, allowed himself to be free. As I had foreseen, he pressed on, and the sensation was nothing short of extraordinary. As I reclined next to him in the aftermath, his expression radiated joy, as if he had finally released all the burdens he had been carrying. David's powerful embrace enveloped me, drawn me in with a warmth that felt like home. My head lay gently upon his chest, where the soothing cadence of his heartbeat resonated in the stillness around us. The rhythmic sound danced through the air, a blend of soothing comfort and unexpected thrill. Unbeknownst to me, my fingers began to softly weave intricate designs upon his chest. David inhaled deeply, his voice barely above a whisper. "This feeling I'm experiencing right now, it's unlike anything I've ever known. I've never felt such tranquility and serenity before." His voice carried a blend of sincerity and astonishment. I smiled softly, My head nestled against his chest, avoiding his gaze. "Is that so?" Softly I spoke. "Indeed," he persisted, softly moving one of his hands to my back, drawing me nearer. "Throughout my journey, there has always been a pursuit, a quest for something just beyond my reach. It was a surprise to find myself pausing to savor a moment such as this. Yet, in this moment, sharing it with you, it transforms everything into something truly meaningful." His words wrapped around me like a cozy blanket, igniting a warmth that spread through my very core. As I lay there, absorbing the steady cadence of his breaths, I turned to him and said, "David, simply being by your side stirs emotions within me that I haven't experienced in ages. Extraordinary." David gently wove his fingers through my hair, a tender smile dancing on his lips. "It seems we've provided one another with precisely what we were searching for," he remarked, a hint of contemplation in his voice. I raised my gaze just enough to catch a glimpse of him. The truth and liberation reflected in his expression spoke volumes. "So let's simply let it be as it is," I remarked. "Let us embrace this moment fully." David nodded slowly, a silent agreement passing between them, unspoken yet understood. We lingered in that embrace, enveloped by the warmth of the moment, lost in each other's presence. Outside, the quiet enveloped us, and the dim light seemed to shine solely for our presence. With my head nestled against David's chest, I surrendered to the tranquility of the moment, allowing it to envelop me like a warm embrace. In that moment, a thought began to weave its way into my consciousness. I began to envision inviting him to remain here with me, to transform this house, these serene nooks and solitary evenings, into something vibrant with his company. The thought of bringing him into my life painted everything in vibrant hues, enriching the tapestry of my existence. Little did I realize the journey that awaited us, filled with thrilling adventures and profound bonds just around the corner. Yet deep down, I felt a certainty that our tale was far from over. And so it began, a tale waiting to unfold. So keep your ears open. If you've journeyed this far, it's clear that my tale has resonated with you in some way. There are countless tales yet to unfold, and you definitely won't want to miss a single one. Tap that follow button, activate notifications, and be sure to share your thoughts about this tale in the comments. I eagerly await your thoughts on this. Come, share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support is truly invaluable to me.